This episode is sponsored by Celtic Colors International Festival. Every October, people come to Cape Breton Island from all over the world to experience the Celtic Colors International Festival. Set against the colorful backdrop of the island's changing leaves, Celtic Colors celebrates Cape Breton's rich traditional culture during 9 days and nights of music, song, dance, workshops, community meals, and so much more. From Gaelic singing and Cape Breton fiddling to community dance traditions and world-class bagpiping, Celtic Colors brings together the best of local and international artists and performers in concerts all over Cape Breton Island. Mark October 6th to 14th on your calendar for the 2023 Celtic Colors International Festival. The full schedule and list of performers will be available June 26th at CelticColors.ca. That's CelticColors.ca. Don't miss the Celtic Colors International Festival, October 6th to 14th on Cape Breton Island. This episode was produced in part by Front Porch Farm. Ever been to Cape Breton? Ever been to the Margaree Valley? You ever wondered what you're doing with your life because you answered no to those first two questions? Well, get down there and make sure you buy your vegetables from Front Porch Farm. What's that? You need a venue for agricultural or musical workshops? Did you just say you needed a live sound engineer who is also a farmer? Wait, when you do finally visit Cape Breton, you'd love to see live Hawaiian music, Western swing, and traditional fiddling music? Okay, well now this is getting weird, because I'm going to tell you again, Front Porch Farm, at Front Porch CB. Welcome, benvenuto, irasemase. Good day, mateys, one and all, to another episode of The Friendly Heckler, the podcast where I, Zakary Miller, hang out with performers live on stage. They play me some tunes, and we go anywhere and everywhere together, friends. If you're a longtime listener, thanks so much for all the support so far, and if you're just tuning in, welcome to the party! I'll do this live podcast on stage thing anywhere, friends. And this is actually the first episode on the road. The dream for this show. And I'll be at Full Circle Festival in Avondale, Nova Scotia in June. So see you there, friends of Full Circle. Then you guys can keep your ears peeled for the Full Circle Extravaganza episode out on July 1st. Given that this is a live show recorded for you listeners, that's how we managed to pay the artists for their appearances. So I want to thank all of you guys who came out to these live shows from the bottom of my bottomless heart. Really, I mean that. So much love for the incredible audiences out there. You guys know who you are. And listener, check out my website, ZakaryMiller.com. That's Zakarymiller.com. for more information and, of course, upcoming shows. As I mentioned, this is the first episode on the road with some production help from Front Porch Farms. Yes, a wonderful farmer named Peter helped organize the whole show, and, well, you'll hear more from Peter during the recording. I had the privilege of being welcomed into the family folds of the Margaree Valley on Cape Breton Island, and even got to help cultivate some crop lanes with the help of a draft horse named Digger, of course. The sounds of this island are so unique, and my guest Cameron Chisholm was an ambassador of that sound for decades. We talk about his earliest gigs at the age of 11, Cameron's time playing in Toronto at Down East dances and various clubs and parties. His entire family is a wealth of musical heritage. Halfway through the show, on stage, I found myself tearing up. And I also got this feeling of recording history, you know? Tracing Cam's musical roots and having a laugh with him was a really magical feeling, and I'm just so honored we got to do this. Cam is such a seasoned performer. He was really gracious with the stage and even checked in on how everyone's family was, and the incredible audience gave it right back to him. He even took control of the show, really. He did his background knowledge on me, actually, so we jumped right in. Here we go.
This guy has a Margaree name. His name is Miller.
I think that's true.
Yeah, Miller. Zakary Miller.
Wow, that's true. Yes. Thank you for the intro, Cam.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Why wouldn't I? Gonna play too. You yodel, don't you?
Yes, I do yodel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who told you that?
A guy who works where I stay, who works there, he's from outside Amherst.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his last name is O'Regan, Ernie O'Regan.
Ernie O'Regan told you that I yodel?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I don't know, but I was just in Amherst, so.
Well, we have birds back and forth, and they give messages. They used to do that years ago.
Are they doves now, or are they still pigeons? Are they pigeons, or are they doves now?
They're part pigeon. I'm lying to you for God.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Pardon?
You're all right with this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody, this is Peter LeBlanc doing sound. How about a hand for Peter? Peter helped put this whole thing together.
Peter Leo Joe Patrick. And his wife his mother's here, Denise, and his father, Leo Paul. Leo Joe Patrick, right on. And so on. I thought that
So you know the entire history of everybody in the room as well. You know my history already. We just met, but you seem to know Peter's whole family, and you know the Margaree Valley very well. Then, right?
I know. I am 78 years old, and I go back. I started out when I was 7, really playing the piano. I have a sister, a well-known piano player, Mabel Chisholm.
Yeah, who taught Jason over here, right?
That's right. Yes,
Wow.
She taught you. I remember that. She was this high and he grew up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. What was I talking about? Mabel and...
When you were 7 and starting to learn, growing up in Margaree Valley, right?
Yeah. Well, we started out so young. And, you know, when you start at a young age and whatever you do, in my case, playing fiddle, the summer, 7 nights a week, and 8 nights, I think, sometimes. Anyway, 7 nights a week, and so on. You get to know many people. You go all over the place on the island, up Annikenation, all those places, and you play and you meet people. And I always love to talk to people and all that. And you get to know people. So you get to know names. You get to know whose cousin is cousin, and your great-granduncle's wife that's going back. But it's almost like that with me. It's almost like that with our family and with most families in the Margarees, right? French, Irish, Scottish, whatever. I'm Scottish head to toe. Hi Frangach. He's French.
Okay. Jason Roach is French, and I'm actually Irish.
I know.
I'm 100%. So
Yeah.
we have a veritable Cape Breton representation going on here.
Sure, I've first cousins up the road. They're Murphys, and you can't get more Irish than Murphy. However, the mother and the grandmother and great-grandmother was a Chisholm.
Ah.
So it goes like that.
And now, do you have
great
Camerons?
stuff. Mixture. Where's the bar? Great mixture, you know. And I have 3 uncles I had married to French women, one in Connecticut, one down north, and one out in North Battleford, Saskatchewan.
Wow.
And so on. To give you an example, Uncle Jack Chisholm, he's dead, and his wife, Aunt Marie, she was a Bedard.
Nice.
And she was an aunt to Emile Francis, who coached the New York Rangers.
Whoa.
Now,
what year are we talking? Like around what
we're
era?
going back to the 40s and 50s.
Okay.
Could come down the road to nowadays and very later, behind me. My first cousin, Uncle Jack's, one of his daughters married Mahoney. And their son is co-owner, if he still is, of the Washington Capitals. So that runs in certain areas of the family.
Right, so if you ever
I'm
wanted
not
to-
into hockey yet.
If you ever wanted to give up fiddle, though, you could get into the hockey business
Yes,
right away.
definitely.
Okay.
Selling pucks and Ross.
The Rossi comes out. Actually, okay.
He brought me Ross, and it's
I
not
did.
nice of him.
It's the least I could do. Karen's so nice to give me your time and do this. Just take a chance. We had never met. Do you listen to
And
podcasts?
and we feel like we know one another.
Well, yeah. I mean, as soon as you asked me what my last name was on the phone, I was like, okay, I'm in. We're good.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I had to bring you bow rosin, and then
Yeah.
you told me this amazing story that you used to collect sap instead.
Yes, we used to go out. My mother played when we were kids, and she'd want rosin from the trees. We'd go out and peel off something, take it into her. I can't remember if it was balsam or bubble gum or whatever the hell it was, but it served the purpose. I just can't
Maybe
remember
spruce.
right now. What would it be?
Spruce, so yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Because the
Spruce,
birch
yeah,
would
that'd
sap
be
too
it.
much, eh? Wow.
And so on. So, what'll I refer to now? But anyway, it's nice to be here, and we'll play another tune.
Yeah,
okay?
please. What do you want to play me?
Wait now. I'm going to play a march. They're pipe marches,
Amazing.
pipe tunes. I love my favorite instrument is the bagpipes. I love the bagpipes, and I certainly love the tunes. And I learned a few. Over the years, and this is a pipe march. Starts out a pipe march. Okay. Thank you.
Wow. Whoa.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Mean tune. You started with Piper's March, and what'd you go into there?
I went into John Morrison Reel.
Morrison
Reel, and then Sean McGuire's Reel.
Okay.
The last one, yeah.
Did you when did you learn the Piper's March?
This one I played?
Yeah.
When did I learn it?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you should ask that, I learned it 2 years ago up at where I live, the Heritage House, going over pipe music, pipe books I have, and I came across that one, and I fell in love with it. Marches, you have 6 turns, 4 turns, 6 turns. This one, 2 turns, and it's my favourite march of all.
Nice and tight.
I really like it.
And you learned from a piper, is that true?
Eh?
Did you learn tunes from a piper?
Yes, we had a piper at our house, my parents' pipe.
It just worked with living in house?
Say, yeah, back in the 50s, Piper Sandy Boyd, and one of the world's greatest. He was. We knew that ourselves. You love music, we love music, and if if the person isn't playing well or good or whatever the hell, we know it.
Yeah.
You know, he was extraordinarily good.
Where did it come from? How did you end up there?
Who?
Sandy Boyd, how did you end up at your place?
Okay, Sandy Boyd ended up at the house. Perhaps some of you met Archie and Carl Ellison, Eleanor McDaniel, for example, John Wallace, he's passed away. Sandy Boyd ended up at their place. And Mary Ann, she was a lover of music, and she was in Scotland often, and she liked the best, like you do, like we all do and did and will in the future.
And so
anyway,
she brought him over?
She brought Sandy Boyd over to the house, and oh my God, this was in the 50s. At that time, no television. You were allowed to stay up till 11 o'clock on a Saturday night to hear a fight. With all the fighting that was going on in the Margaree and so on. Well,
You were not on the radio. You weren't listening to fights on the radio. You were just listening at the window.
No, we were listening, for God's sakes. I hear your point. No, Margaree are beautiful people, the best of people.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Sandy, yeah, we'd hear the music and the radio, yeah. What does it started out to talk about?
Just wondering how Sandy Boyd ended up at your place and taught you tunes. Because you were playing piano at this point as a kid?
Yes, around the same time at my grandparents' back and forth. However, we'd get up in the morning, no radio, that was the point. No radio, only what I said, yeah. And so on, and Sandy landed out in the kitchen downstairs with the bagpipes.
First thing in the morning.
Kids, prior to going to school, kids' eyes like plates, listening and enjoying it to the fullest, this bagpipe player. And the neighbours, they didn't realise what we had. Wow. And he was a tremendous, he was very good to Scotty Fitzgerald and my late uncle Angus Chisholm.
Nice.
He was very, very good to them, pointing out tunes, naming the books to get, and so on. I'm going back in time, and that they did, and I'll always give Sandy credit.
Wow.
Now, Sandy, speaking of books, Sandy, a year prior to his death, 74 or 5, whatever year, he gave me his music. I was home from Toronto. Gave me his music.
His handwritten music that he had?
His books.
Oh.
Bought in New Glasgow or Glasgow, Scotland, all over the place. Scottish books. And I have them up at the Heritage House. And I often think of him. I even have a brown case that some of his music books were in.
Wow.
And are in. I have that box. Oh, the books aren't in it anymore. It's an awful mess. But I will not get rid of it. I refuse to get rid of it. But it's what was in the case.
Absolutely.
The bagpipe books.
And he touched them. He touched them. They're beautiful. That's a memory.
Oh, God, yes, that's right, too. That's right. But anyway, Sandy gave me his books.
So your uncle, Angus, also a revered fiddler at that time.
Yes, Angus Chisholm.
So were they touring around? Did they have a show that they would have done? Or were they crossing paths while touring around the island?
Well, no, Sandy was at the house, and that frequent the house, visit the house often, and so on, and that hear Sandy. Before my day, And Sandy would, like I said, point out tunes and the names of the books, titles and all that. And they took advantage. My Uncle Angus Chisholm, my Uncle Archneil Chisholm was a tremendous dance fiddler.
Wow.
You know,
Playing
in the area and Cogma and those places, which was where in those days a distance. And so, but Angus went into studying the reading of it and so on.
And taught a lot of people himself, I assume, or?
Angus,
Yeah.
if he could get away with it, he wouldn't teach you a note, but you better listen. You better listen. Listen to him. Yeah, he would do anything for a person in music, sure. I know he did this much.
So who taught you fiddle?
He opened our eyes, huh?
Who taught you fiddle then?
My mother.
Okay.
My mother played the fiddle when she was young. And then she went into dance, Highland dance and so on. And she quit the fiddle, but taught me. My father taught me many tunes. He couldn't play an instrument, Willie D. And to find out later, and I never questioned it, his tunes were so correct. Oh, 100%.
Really?
Hey, to find out he taught Angus tunes. He went out one day, came home with 2 fiddles for Archneil and Uncle Angus.
Okay.
He bought them their first fiddles, and he taught them. And the same guy who really taught me my first tune, it's called The Cock of the North, taught Angus and Archneil their first tune, Johnny Steve. How many heard of Johnny Steve and White?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Leo Joe down the head, remember. And so on.
Would Willie D just jig the tunes to you?
Willie D would jig the tunes, and could he ever jig a tune? I mean, you'd keep time to him jigging the tune. What if you didn't? He'd kill you.
That's your father.
Oh, he was a kind man that killed you. No, but he knew the music. To find out later, and like I said, never questioned it, how correct he was. My God, it's incredible. But they were all like that. And Uncle Archie, he didn't go into reading music, and he had his tunes so correct by ear. By ear. He likely took up reading later in life and so on. For sure he was capable of it. Anyway, I'm not bragging my people enough.
Yeah, that is a rich history, man. And clearly you have a great memory too, because you've remembered every family member of everyone in
my
here.
My mother got very shocked one day. I played High Road to Knitting. That's a one that went over big with Ashton McKaystic. 100 years ago I went over this one. And Mama said, "Where'd you get that tune?" Well, Daddy, I often heard him jig it. The first 2 turns of it, my grandmother taught me it, Mama's mother. And Mama was wild when she heard it because she didn't know she played the fiddle. You know, she did play the fiddle. Johnny Cameron's wife, Maggie. Margaret McKinnon from St. Rose. And her father, Black Charlie McKinnon, one of my great-grandfathers, was one hell of a good fiddler. And that's based on stories. But I always watch and know that some of those certain ones, there was nothing exaggerated. In other words, not by a Chisholm.
All right.
No, but that's true. But, my grandmother taught me High Road to Linton, the first 2 turns of it. And she took the fiddle, and this is what Mama couldn't believe, and played it, but very badly. But you have to remember, she wasn't playing. It's something like that, eh? Well, I darn well picked it up, and I appreciated that. That's one hell of a good memory.
Yeah, you picked that.
Yeah.
You've held on to that for a long time now.
Yes, I knew that tune when I was a kid, but there's so many. Ask me a question and I'll
Yeah,
answer.
When you got your first fiddle then, how old were you?
I love that Peter's doing the interview
Well,
from
okay.
the...
He's good like that.
Yeah.
Pete. He's a nice fellow.
He is, yeah. Peter's put the whole thing together, so he has every right
Yeah.
to.
What did you ask me, Peter?
I said, when did you get your first fiddle?
Okay, I used to go to my grandparents, and they had a violin there, a fiddle, an old fiddle that my grandfather got in Quebec, and it came from outside Paris, France.
Wow.
That's where that fiddle came from. And it was a good fiddle. It got smashed later on in life. it came in handy for me. My
Oh.
God, I could joke about something like that, but could be painful. But that was my first violin, and then I went on, and this violin I got back the late '60s in Windsor, Ontario, and I like it.
So did you hit the road at some point in your musical career? Like you had picked up a lot of steam and then...
At a very young age, I played my first dance, and it was a family dance, and the people were enjoying it. They were being nice to me, I think. In a schoolhouse in St. Rose, a fundraiser for the building of a mission church in Broadcoe Parish, and that they built the church and all.
Wow.
And I was 11 years old. And the following summer, I played at the Broadcove concert.
Wow.
The first Broadcove concert. I was 12, and that was something.
Were you paid at that point? Or are you still volunteering your time, obviously, for
Oh
the
my
church?
gosh,
But then are you paid
that is
for
the
Broadcove?
church. You're right down there, the church.
Yeah, you're volunteering your time for the church, yeah. Obviously. I want the record to state that Cameron volunteered for the church.
For the church.
And that's on recording.
Yeah.
But for like the Broad Cove show, are you getting paid at the age of 12 fiddling?
Would get a little gift. Put it that way.
Okay,
A little
okay.
gift. You take $2 would go a long way back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
but were they like, here's a sausage roll
would be
and
nice
$2?
to put in your pocket, $10. Oh God!
Right.
I remember a guy come up from the Waterford. Joe Burke was his name, and he put a jamboree on at Southwest Margaree. I'll never forget. And I played a lot for a young fellow, 15, 14, for them that night. And so on, came home. Joe Burke was spending the night at my grandparents, and his friends Guthrow. He played the saw. Now my eyes
cool.
were big that night, looking
Wow.
at this guy with a bow playing a saw, and
Beautiful.
all. But curses with having a saw, hating the wood and sawing the wood and everything. Well, it was a hand saw, but the little ones, what do you call them? Whatever.
Right, yeah.
But later that night, they arrived at the house and so on. They're counting the money. It was all change, what I saw, and it ended up in my pocket. And you'd need more than one pocket.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
decent.
So that was very nice.
Amazing.
I never forgot that. Joe Burke, rest his soul, and Guthrow and the rest of them.
So who are some acts that started
so-
influencing you at that age?
So at that age, well, Sandy Boyd was my greatest influence, but the family. Now, my sister Mabel taught me tunes on the fiddle. I was learning the piano. Mabel, the piano player, was learning the fiddle.
Wow.
Mabel teaches me the piano. Mabel teaches me
Who's
the
on
fiddle,
first?
the fiddle, and I'm learning the. It's Robert DeVoe. And I'm learning Kelly.
Big shout outs.
Yeah. Enter Robert and Kelly DeVoe.
Stage right. Yay.
But anyway, what am I talking about?
I guess I was wondering who your influences were at the
Yeah.
time. Like even outside of family,
Well,
obviously it's Scotty
outside,
Fitzgerald.
outside the
and,
family, anyone was an influence. The influence didn't have to be someone older. The influence could very well be someone younger.
Oh.
You know, in learning a tune, hearing someone play a tune, certain tune you like, and all that. And I had named them in a way they were influences of mine. When I was growing up, and I started out young, as I said earlier, playing dances and all, John Campbell, Donald Angus Beaton, God bless them, and all of them, and Buddy McMaster.
Oh wow.
I'd have to say, to grab tunes fast by ear and learn them correctly and all that, hear them played so correct by the named fiddlers, they were terrific influences of mine. Give them a hand. Yeah. So
Will you play
I
me?
could name so many more. My family, my uncles, and all that. Yeah.
Will you play me a song that you consider close to like your family, like a song that you would have played with all of your family members when you got together? Like, what's a song that you and Mabel played for a long time?
Oh well, we played for years together.
What's-
You know, when she was playing with me. She was accompanying me.
Yes. Yeah. So what's one of the earliest songs you remember playing?
Well, this is the first I learned.
Ooh, please.
was, what was the first one I played? I played some jigs there, and one was the Judic jig. That was composed by my uncle Angus Chisholm.
Nice.
And the last one, that was the one my grandmother taught me. I wrote to Linton. And you can imagine back in those days. But anyway, and the rest of them will ask me and I might remember.
Yeah, are you going to have any strings left on that bow by the end of the night?
No, it might be.
I feel like you're just warming up, too.
Well, that's as warm as I get, I'll tell you.
That's...
I love getting
Even I'm
hot.
sweating.
Oh, I love getting hot. But,
do you guys play together
when
a
you're
lot?
not
I want to
feeling
just
well,
mention
it's-
that Jason Roach is joining on piano tonight and doing a fine job.
Jason Roach.
And you guys have played together a few times, at least,
Yeah,
right?
I remember Jason, a young fella, coming to the house, Mabel teaching him the piano.
And what did you think of him then?
Oh my God. Jason's terrific piano. Terrific player.
Right from the beginning.
And his father and mother, his mother Linda was from London, Ontario. His father from Shellycamp. The great artist, Bill Roach.
Wow.
Great artist, yeah. And so on. And Jason had a rough time years ago, but he's doing very well.
I love that you're throwing that in for... Jason will get his own episode. We'll talk about... Yeah. This is your episode, Cameron, so yeah, enough about
Okay,
Jason.
okay.
We get to
You
talk
wanna-
about you tonight.
you wanna
I
spoil
did
it?
read that you spent 4 years at the French Club, and I wondered where the French Club was.
Well, I played at many French clubs. We could call them French
Yeah.
clubs, but in
Why-
Toronto, I played more than 4 years at the French club, and I was the first fiddler.
Wait, you lived in
And-
Toronto for
yes,
how long?
Half my life.
Wow.
And you see, you meet the French people at your dances, at the dancers.
Sorry,
and
there is a
the
club
Scots
just
and the
for
Irish
French
and the Dutch and the Germans and look out, whatever. and I have first cousins Germans. There was no, wasn't doing anything there. But
You didn't hold it against them.
But the French club, yes, I played and met many French people, and they were so good. And I went to their homes after dances. I went to their homes before dances, and would play from Friday night a dance. After the dance, the next night a dance. Go to the dance to another house after the dance.
Wow.
And that's how it went on. I'm not exaggerating, and so on. So I met many of the French people, and enjoyed playing at the French club in Toronto. Sure.
Were you sort of one of the only maritime acts in Toronto at that time?
Well, this isn't big time acts. Big time for me.
That sounds huge.
Yeah.
A residency
Among-
at a place
among
for 4 years? Yeah.
Cape Bretoners, among Anticonasians, Cape Bretoners. And we mix and we know one another, and at the end of the day, we're all the same. I don't care what the name is, whatever.
Absolutely.
We're all the same. We're all good people. The one word is love or like and one another. And at the end of the day, it will have been a good day.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh God. You Islanders are so much stronger than the rest of the country, and they have no idea.
Yeah, where'd I put the rosin?
Oh, yeah. But you
Right.
don't know where you put your rosin. That's the only thing I'll say about Islanders.
Get it
You always
behind me.
misplace your
Will you get
rosin.
it for me? Is it the case?
Yo, yeah, I'll get it for you.
Be nice enough to get it.
Here I am.
See, there's good in them. Those Patagonians are amateurs.
Ever play Nick Aram, Cameron?
Oh, yes, down north, sure. Yeah. Years ago, I'm going way back. I'll tell you what I really enjoyed back in the day. The masquerade, the same thing. Halloween. I'll refer to myself only. I played a good 7 or 8 masquerade dances during Halloween, and that's a lot to remember. That's more than a week, and so on. And I used to enjoy it. And my worst night was New Year's. Was it New Year's when you kiss? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Everybody making to kiss me. To be nice to Cameron the fiddler.
And you're cute.
Thank you, Jason. Adonis, he's bad. Adonis.
Adonis. You guys are both a pretty good-looking act, I must say. You know, you've got the You got the straight man thing going too, because Jason's very quiet and just nodding and smiling to whatever you say.
He better.
So, yeah. You've trained him well, Cameron. Oh, right. For people listening at home, Cameron just raised his bow at Jason in a threatening way.
How is Randy and Robbie? How's Robbie doing?
He's good. Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Just checking in on everyone's family.
But Robbie, his brother, lost his wife.
Oh, I'm so
It was
sorry.
the time I was here in the fall. He was going to die tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm bad. Don't pay attention to it. I was here last fall one of the times, and Jason had the news that Nicole had passed away. And
You have such a good memory.
oh, my memory's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes,
You have
it
every
is.
right to brag about it. And your whole family.
No, but it is good. Thank
Can you-
God. I forget things, but
Do you have any idea how many songs you would have stored up in your head?
a few thousand. I don't know.
That's
I'm not
amazing.
sure. See, you'd forget so many. You forget them and throw one away for a while, pick up another one, or just throw it away, whatever.
Right.
And you go on like that, and I wouldn't know the number.
I actually started having to get rid of family memories just to make room for songs, and I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm,
Yeah. So you sing, of course, when you're young.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I would hope I would have to do one for the other. Yeah. Yes, I do. I was worried actually when I first moved here because I'm originally born and raised in Ontario, but when I first moved to the Maritimes, Toronto. That's why I'm
Bless
like
you, what part of Toronto?
near Christie Pitts.
What street?
What street? Clinton Street. I hung out on Clinton Street a lot.
Clinton Street.
Yeah, where did you live in that city?
Oh, I lived at the East End, Riverdale, Victoria Park, those places like that, Danford,
Yeah.
Vendome.
Wow.
And
So half your life in Toronto, eh?
I loved it. I loved my stay in Toronto. I loved the people. We went out the street, walking the street. It wasn't even, you didn't question it.
Right.
Hello, hi. And they'd give you a look, and after a while they knew you. and they wanted to talk. So that's the way it goes. And
Yeah.
you get some wanting to talk, and the Italians were terrific. Only
That's the
they
neighborhood
wanted-
I lived in, was Little Italy. Yeah.
Little Italy, yeah. Are you Italy? Are
No,
you
no, I'm
Italian?
Irish, but Irish and
Oh,
Italian,
Irish, yeah.
we share a lot of weird
it's,
things.
So it's Miller. We have many Miller families in the Margarees.
Wow,
Sure.
introduce me, because I think they're probably second or third cousins.
Well, I have cousins. They're out west, many of them. Fonzie Miller's family, Fonzie second marriage.
Fonzie?
Fonzie, Alphonse Miller.
Oh,
He
Alphonse,
married
great
Isabel,
name.
Isabel Pillar, whose mother was Chisholm. And they had, God help us, they had many children.
Is this true that I heard that you had Camerons in your family?
My mother was a Cameron.
Your mother was a
Yeah.
Cameron, and then your dad was a Chisholm.
My daddy was a Chisholm.
So they just
His mother
cut
was-
straight to the chase and said, "You're Cameron Chisholm."
Yeah, I'm called after the clan Cameron. My first name is Gerard, Saint Gerard, of course.
You're Saint Gerard. It's an honor to finally meet you, sir.
No, I'm called after, well, Saint Gerard, I guess. That applied to many of us back in time. And Cameron after the clan Cameron, sure. My father's mother was McLennan. Her mother was McFarlane, going back on my father's side of Chisholm. My mother was Cameron, it goes back Cameron. And her mother was McKinnon, whose mother, my great-grandmother, Mary McNeil, whose mother was Isabel McFarlane. And it goes on like that. and
You
it's
just named
beautiful.
every major fiddling
Yes,
dynasty and musical dynasty in the East Coast.
Almost to Scotland.
Wow.
And my father, mother, although my father's, there were Chisholm. Chisholm married Camerons, married Chisholms as well. And on my mother's, of course.
Have you gotten to play in Scotland?
Huh?
Have you gotten to play in Scotland?
No, I'd love to, but I don't think I will ever get there. But
long trip, yeah.
It's
Actually, I was
many have
wondering-
gone to Scotland, huh?
I was wondering if, for the sake of this podcast and this recording,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are going to listen to this that have no idea what the difference is between Cape Breton fiddling and, say, Appalachian fiddling even. They don't really understand the difference.
Well, in Scotland, for example, you have classical. Going back in time, they were sort of classical trained. One of the greatest composers in the world, Scottish Celtic music, was J. Scott Skinner.
Okay.
And Scott Skinner was classical. He also played the bagpipes.
Oh.
And he was our greatest composer of all his music, and difficult classical Scottish music.
Wow.
Okay, over there they had a different bow hand and so on. And over here, well, you're hearing a poor example perhaps, but Cape Breton Scottish, the majority of tunes were composed over there.
Right. Why are you saying it's a poor example over here, though?
No, I'm just saying that in here.
Oh, in here tonight? Oh, okay.
No, it is a good example, yes.
Would you say that they're, like the pipes influence the style too? Because there's a certain dig.
In my case, definitely the bagpipes. That's it, and tremendous influence. There are people here I bet could explain that far better than I'm explaining it.
Okay.
But it's true. In my case, and I can refer to other fiddlers playing marches, and Scotty Fitzgerald, the Paps of Glencoe, Angus Chisholm, the Lochaber Gathering March,
Yeah.
Robert DeVoe, Don McLean's Farewell to Oban.
Nice,
and
amazing.
one could go on and on.
I'm noticing,
Maggie
like,
Cameron, huh?
again, I feel like sort of an idiot when it comes to Cape Breton fiddling. Obviously, A, because I'm not a fiddler, but B, because I'm not from here, and I am admittedly the idiot tonight, so I want you to school me a bit.
We're more than happy to have you here.
Thank you, yeah.
Yes.
In all my dim-wittedness. Thank you. Wow, you are a gracious host, sir. Thank you. Thank you for giving me some of that hot audience. It almost seems like the bow never really comes off the fiddle. It's like almost like it only comes off for seconds at a time in these lilts.
Yeah, that's it. Can you explain anything, Jace?
Yeah, Jay, can you explain to this idiot? No, nobody can.
You got it.
Thank you.
That's all that's needed. Yeah.
They're all on us up here, they're bad. Okay.
Perfect.
I want to play the March of the Cameron Men. I'll start with the March of the Cameron Men now, okay?
we take a little break?
Okay.
Let's
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. Let's take a little break. Let's give Cameron a little breather, and we'll come back and say 15, eh? How about a hand? We took a little breather here, so I just want to say again, thanks for listening to this wacky podcast. It's really all about these incredible artists. So if you want to donate to the podcast and keep this thing going because you can't make it out to these live shows, please visit my website, zakarymiller.com, ZAKARYMILLER.com, and go to the donate page. And, well, let's get back to the episode. Thanks for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, Cameron Chisholm.
Oh, okay, we're back. Yeah. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, where did we leave off?
Huh?
Where did we leave off? You played us an amazing song that was the Cameron's Men's March.
The March of the Cameron.
March of the Cameron Men. That's an amazing end to that set. That was a powerful song.
No, there was a Cameron, and that was one of my first, of course.
And there's your
We're
history.
Clannish to one another.
Yeah.
Clannish to our mothers. Yeah.
Still strong. Oh, good boy. Yeah. Wow. A couple people, actually, I went around the audience, and a couple people wondered if you had ever played bagpipes.
No.
Why not?
I was satisfied playing the fiddle and little bits of the piano. I was satisfied. The bagpipes, my instrument, I love them. And that's it. I enjoy sitting back and listening to tapes. I haven't the last 3 years where I'm at. I don't get a chance to hear tapes or anything, and I had tapes and so on. Anyway, I love the bagpipes and the music. I play bagpipe music, and as I said, I'm now repeating what I
That's okay.
Ask me anything
If you put on a bagpipe tape, who are you going for? Like, who's the artist? Who's the bagpiper that you're...
Now I don't have any, but I used to have Champion of Champions, great pipe bands from Scotland. Now, did I mention any composers from Scotland before? Bagpipe composers, for example, J. Scott Skinner composed.
Yeah, you did mention J.
He was the classical violinist, but played the pipes. A beautiful tune. It's called Jenny Curlers. John McCall, one of the greats of all time, pipers, John McCall, composed Jenny Curlers for his wife, Jenny Curlers, before they married.
Oh, wow.
And that's a beautiful tune.
Do you still have that one in your...
Yes, I play it often. Rod Campbell.
I'm just not going to play it.
Rod Campbell, a great composer from Scotland. These people... There's a chance you never heard of them.
Yeah.
Rod Campbell composed an example, the Edinburgh Police Pipe Band. Edinburgh Police Pipe Band, a beautiful march. The name Rod Campbell, the composer.
He composed it just for them? He composed it just for them?
He composed it enjoying composing music.
Right, but did he compose that march just for that police pipe band?
Oh, of course.
Wow.
Familiar with the Edinburgh Police Pipe Band, which pipe band and all, and he composed it for them, yeah. Usually, as a rule, the names of tunes are for somebody, someplace, an experience, and many in life, and so on. And that's
it's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
The police pipe band march.
Edinburgh Police Pipe Band march, perhaps he was in it.
Wow.
He didn't arrest me, but I wasn't there.
Yet, yeah.
I'm not that old.
So were you picking up tattoo band records and that sort of thing? Like,
Huh?
were the tattoo bands, was that a big thing that you were grabbing records of too?
Oh God, great pipe bands, but the greatest of music, you know. And I enjoyed that stuff. I'm referring to myself. I enjoyed listening to the pipes and so on, and I regret that I don't hear them now as often. But I was away from the fiddle for years, and I went to move to Portwood, Heritage House in Portwood, and 3 years ago, a priest arrived, Father Eugene Morris, and I went up to visit his sister with him and her husband John and Teresa Van Sutton. They're great, they're well-known people, great people. I think they are, and they certainly are. the next day, Father Eugene arrives back. Cameron, do you want that fiddle? I played the fiddle that was in the house at John Van Sutton's and Teresa's. And, well, I'll take it down. Will you play it? He knew I was away from the fiddle, even though I played it on it. And long story short, he took the fiddle down, and I have the fiddle there. It belonged to Father Angus Morris, who was a good fiddler back in the day. Father Eugene's brother and Teresa Van Sutton's brother. But I have that fiddle home. Where am I getting at?
That you had taken a break from fiddle, and then
yeah.
So the priest handed you a fiddle, and that's what got you back into it?
And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at television. I'm saying to myself, I should try that fiddle. Father Eugene, talking to myself, that was true.
Oh, yeah.
and I never answer myself. But anyway...
The fiddle did. The fiddle answered you.
I picked the fiddle up, and I'm going over something, you're going over... And the sound of the violin, it doesn't sound like that today. There's something to this. The sound was incredible.
How old was it?
Huh?
How old was that fiddle, you think?
Old? Oh, I wouldn't know.
It was
I
that?
was getting the old age pension.
It's full of money inside?
I don't know how old, no.
Wow.
But anyway, it's at the house, and I played, and all of a sudden, I'm playing the fiddle again. And...
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
That's 3 years. That's 3 years ago, and for the times and all, I played an awful lot in the last 3 years. I no longer play for sets, but I love playing for listening and hope that everything's going over okay.
Yeah. I think after this, you're going to have 17 invites to different houses. You
I'll
might
go
have your summer
anytime.
booked. Yeah. Was your youth playing a lot of house parties too then, and barn dances?
Youth?
Yeah.
Yes. House parties. After dances, all the weekends, of course. And
How far would you go for a house party? Somebody asked about Gillisdale. Did you ever go to Gillisdale?
God help us, yes.
Oh, God help us,
Yes.
How far was too far for you? Sydney. Would you go to Sydney for dances?
For dances?
Yeah.
God, I used to go to the Iron Gates. We used to go to Antigonish, St. Joseph's, all those places playing dances.
Did you ever make it to the Annapolis Valley?
Lower River.
Okay.
What did you ask?
Did you ever make it to Annapolis Valley? Did you go?
No, I
that part
never
of the
played
province?
up that way.
Okay, you just skipped over that. You went to Toronto.
That's right, going by Amherst and all those places.
You hopped a train and.
Oh, I often hopped the train too.
Wow, would you play on the train in those days?
No, I felt embarrassed if I was going to play. I'd interrupt someone or feel embarrassed about playing.
Okay.
And I was very proud of the music, and I always will be. But no, I never played on the played on the train, and well, the plane. There's a good excuse. You get there fast. You'll never hear me play on the plane again. If I ever play, it'll be on Earth.
Nice.
It'll be down here. Goodbye.
Stompin' Tom wouldn't fly because he couldn't smoke on a plane, so he just drove across the
I
country.
remember smoking on the plane.
Right, yeah, I guess he refused to at a certain point.
No, back in time, you could smoke, of course. And you get a good shot, too, to go with it. To go with the cigarette.
That's how you fall asleep on a
I shouldn't even joke about cigarettes. They're not good for us, and that's it. But I'll smoke till I croak.
Can I ask you a morbid question? What's the last song that you want to play?
In my lifetime?
Yeah.
Or the last song?
The last song in your lifetime, the last song you want to hear.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I like tunes and songs and all that.
Is it going to be a major key or a minor key?
You mean the last on Earth?
Yes.
I know I'm going.
I know I'm thinking far down the road, Cameron, but
I never gave that a thought. But if I was to, well, there's a good reel composed by Dan the Tailor Beaton from Abu, who died many, many, many years ago. Put me in the black box.
No way, really?
Yes, here it is.
Please. Put us.
the title put me in the black box, and that was the meaning, of course, put me in the coffin. Huh? I'm damn well playing it.
That's amazing.
I'm not good at croak.
That's awesome. They're gonna bury you
Oh,
alive.
that doesn't sound good.
Oh my God! You have gotten this audience. They've turned on you. At the beginning of the night, they were so warm, and now they're saying they're gonna bury you alive.
Well, when I said I was going to die.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's amazing. Oh, Cameron, what a career, man. So
When did you take your first flight?
Eh?
When did you take your first flight?
he wasn't the Wright brothers, sir. Peter asked when you took your first
Don't
flight.
let on to anyone. I flew the Silver Dart.
Jeez.
It's only over here in Patek. Anyway, yeah, it was Silver Dart, of course. But, well, now I'm getting mixed up. What am I talking about?
I don't know. He asked you when you took your first flight, which is an odd question, but
I'm
it's,
sorry.
it's good.
Peter. In 1964, I flew to Boston before I went to move to Toronto.
For a gig, right?
I played in Boston often. We played, fiddlers played in Boston, piano players, Boston, Detroit, Toronto, away outside Nova Scotia. I mean Toronto, Windsor, Ontario, across from Detroit, Sudbury, Hamilton, name it. I played all those places.
Who was booking you on those tours?
These would be Cape Breton dances in Hamilton, Cape Breton dances in Detroit, Boston, the places I named it.
Wow.
Yeah, and other places too.
And was it Cape Bretoners coming out to these shows?
Yes, of course.
Wow.
That's what Cape. I'm going to tell you, music. That's what kept Cape Bretoners together. The weekends, working in factories, and it wasn't that pleasant in many factories. Working in factories and so on, getting home the weekend, meaning no work on the weekend, but a dance. They wanted to go to the dances and so on. So it was great that I could play, and I got paid for it and all that stuff,
Did you ever
But
have to
we
pick
had
up?
Angus and Scotty Fitzgerald often and different ones. I didn't have them. The ones putting them on did. One guy from here, he lived next door for a while, Sandy McIntyre. He pushed the Down East dances in Toronto, ran St. Mary's Hall, and he had them all there. Great dances, yeah.
Were you
there,
record-
Jim? I forget.
Well, no, but Sandy fiddled up our family reunion.
Yeah.
Because he was so much of the Toronto.
Oh gosh, yes.
Wow.
Well, Sandy could travel a lot too. He worked for Air Canada.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah. So
that was pretty smart to book tours and then work for the airlines. So you guys had to sneak on in the baggage
So-
compartment, like run onto the
God,
tarmac?
support the dance, but want to hear the music.
Mm-hmm.
Fitzgerald, Holy Cripes, whomever, and Sandy. Just the way politics.
Yeah. You're talking to me like I don't get it now. Like, it's a Cape Breton thing. I'll never
No, I'm
understand.
not going referring to liberal. Are you liberal? I'm a big liberal.
Did you ever have to pick up another job other than music, like when living in
yes,
Toronto?
when I went to Toronto, I worked in the bank, hated it.
No.
Took my ulcers, I had bleeding ulcers in the end, I quit. I taught school. I was with the separate school board for 6-7 years and substituting East End Toronto, and they loved me, I loved them, the parents, the students and all, and if you only knew how much I would love a reunion,
Wow.
the
Just to
students
see where
are
those-
old today, they're not kids, that's for sure. Well, I was teaching when I was 20.
What school
So-
were you teaching at? Maybe they'll hear this and
Well,
then
St.
you can
John's
get your
on
reunion.
Kingston Road, St. Lawrence and Lawrence Avenue East, St. Bridget,
Saint, you name it.
Huh?
Saint, you name it.
Saint, you name it.
It seems like it.
That's a good one.
You can have
Saint,
that
you
one.
name
Ken.
it.
Wow. So all over the
Anyway,
country.
I enjoyed that, and I had other jobs too. But you see, you play every night of the week at home in the summers, you move away all of a sudden. You're not playing every night of the week. And you're lucky if you get a dance on a weekend.
Wow.
At first, when I first went to Toronto, Sandy ran dances and they had Liberty Hall. And it was only a small little place, but you talk about a lively place.
Wow. Well, with the Cape Breton audience,
Yeah,
of course.
people love the music, and people love meeting one another. I referred to that earlier, and so on. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you want to play us another song and we can
Sure.
call us a night even?
You finished?
Well, I don't. I don't want to be. How do you guys feel? Oh, please, we have an audience question, Adele.
Have you ever composed any music?
Yes.
Okay.
Not many. I composed a few tunes, but I concluded that I wouldn't continue composing. No.
Okay.
Are some of them in circulation that people play?
Yeah, one very prominent one is members of Father Charlie MacDonald. He was in Inverness village or town, native back in those days. And Father Charlie and our parish priest, who is deceased now, Father Day, were skiing over in Austria, wherever, and he got killed. And I played at his funeral. Then I composed a tune, Memories of Father Charlie. I'll play it for you.
Wow. Yeah. Please.
Memories
please,
of
please.
Father Charlie MacDonald. I'll just play it. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
I'm going to have a mouthful of this.
Does every funeral for a priest end like that in Cape Breton? Does every funeral for a priest end like that in Cape Breton?
Every funeral for a priest.
Yeah, you started that with a song you wrote for the priest. It's like a New Orleans funeral
After
out
the
here.
funeral, I composed a tune for Father Charlie McDonald, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Memories of Father Charlie.
Before you said you don't play the square dances anymore, what happened?
I'm getting too old.
Well, no, you're doing a good job of that. Why don't you play the square dances?
That's like 4 hours of this speed, I guess. That's a lot. They want you back so bad, Cameron.
I'd prefer to just play like I'm playing and try to play better other times. I'm feeling not too badly.
This
But
is
anyway,
amazing. It's so cool to watch you get halfway through a tune and then be like, let's do this. You're tearing it open halfway through. That's amazing. Yeah.
Huh?
Do you know the Mockingbird?
I won't play it tonight, but I'll be at it once in a while.
I heard you one night playing it here.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. How many years ago?
Another time I'll play it.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody keep it going for Cameron Chisholm.